Boris Fyodorovich Godunov was born around 1551 and died in April 1605. From about 1585, he was the virtual ruler of Russia because of the nominal Tsar or Emperor Fyodor I's disinterest in politics, his deep piety, and his possible intellectual and or learning disabilities. When Fyodor died in 1598, he became officially Tsar or Emperor of Russia. He was the most noted member of an ancient, now extinct Russian family of Tatar origin or Chet, which came from the Horde to Kostroma in the early 14th century. His career began in Ivan the Terrible's court. In 1570, he was mentioned for having taken part in the Serpeisk campaign as an archer of the guard. The following year, he became an oprichnik, a member of Ivan's personal guard and secret police. In 1580, he chose Boris Godunov's sister Irina to be the wife of his second son and eventual heir, the 14-year-old Fyodor. Well, it should be actually 23-year-old Fyodor Ivanovich. And on this occasion, Godunov was promoted to the rank of boyar, a high-ranking Russian aristocrat. On his deathbed, Ivan IV appointed a council consisting of Godunov, Fyodor Nikitich Romanov, Vasily Shuisky, and others to guide his son and successor, Fyodor I, who was feeble in mind and body. Upon his death, Ivan also left the 3-year-old Dmitry Ivanovich, born in 1581, from his 7th and last marriage. And, however, the Orthodox Church recognized only his first 3 marriages and any offspring thereof. Therefore, Dmitry and his mother's family had no ecclesiastically legitimate claim to the throne. Still, taking no chances shortly after Ivan's death, the council had both Dmitry and his mother Maria Nagaya moved to Uglich, some 120 miles or over 190 kilometers north of Moscow. There, Dmitry died in 1591 at the age of 10 in suspicious circumstances. The people of Uglich suspected that Boris Godunov had ordered Dmitry's assassination. Troops were sent there and the rebellion was swiftly quelled. Mr. Vasily Shuisky headed an official commission that Tsar Boris sent to, or Regent Boris at the time, sent to determine the cause of death. The official verdict was that the boy had cut his throat during an epileptic seizure. Ivan's widow, however, claimed that her son had been murdered by Godunov's agents. In 1595, during Fyodor I's nominal rule over Russia and Boris Godunov's effective regency, Russia at last ended its long war against Sweden that had lasted off and on since 1570. Russia had to cede territories to Sweden. Godunov encouraged English merchants to trade with Russia by exempting them from duties. He built towns and fortresses along the northeastern and southeastern borders of Russia to keep the Tatar and Finnic tribes in order. In 1597, Godunov enacted his most important domestic reform, forbidding peasants to transfer from one landowner to another, thus binding them to the soil. It aimed to secure revenue. However, It led also to the institution of serfdom in its most oppressive form. Serfdom was only officially abolished in Russia in 1861, decades later than in most other European countries, or many other European countries. Boris accepted the throne from the Zemsky Sobor, or National Assembly. He was both popular and prosperous during the first years of his reign and ruled well. He recognized the need for Russia to become a much more intellectually oriented country, because Western Europe was advancing in that regard, and he tried really hard to bring about educational and social reforms. He cultivated friendly relations with the Scandinavians and hoped to take a bride from a foreign royal house, thereby increasing the dignity of his own dynasty. But he declined the personal union proposed to him in 1600, led by Lev Sapieha from the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Boris suffered from a declining health in his last years and died of a stroke in April 1605.